On this episode of Carolina Echoes, I take you into the final hours of a life that just began. A little girl named Mianna, just 6 years old. She was bright, curious, and full of love, the kind of child who still believed her dad was a hero. But on March 24th, 2025, the man she trusted the most became her killer. This is not just a story of a tragic crime. This is a story of a child, a life taken before it started, a mother's unimaginable grief, and the failure of a system meant to protect. My name is Image, and this is Carolina Echoes. Before we talk about the crime, I want to tell you a bit about Mianna. Mianna Roach was a vibrant, beautiful 6-year-old little girl. Her birthday was March 17th, just 7 days before her murder. On her Give a Hand memorial page, there's a photo. Mianna wearing a pink unicorn dress, her face glowing, a simple birthday party with balloons, cakes, and behind her eerily lurks her father, Michael Roach. Her mother says she loved dolls, playing dress up, and she had just learned how to write her name in cursive. She was so smart, maybe too smart, the kind of little girl who always asked why and never accepted because I said so. She lived in Fulton County, a small community in Anson County. Her parents were no longer together, but Mianna adored both of them, especially her daddy. March 24th began in silence, but by 3 a.m., a nightmare had begun. Around 3 a.m., Mianna's mother called the Fulton Police Department and she told officers that Michael Roach had entered her home uninvited. He came into her bedroom, held her at gunpoint, and then fled with Mianna in her car. Police arrived fast, but there was a problem. There was no formal custody documentation on file. Without legal custody status, they couldn't issue an Amber Alert. Instead, they issued a BOLO, or be on the lookout for. She had already lost her daughter once to fear, to powerlessness, and now the system she turned to help her told her there wasn't enough paperwork to act. 5 hours had passed. No signs of Michael, no signs of Mianna. Around 8 a.m., an officer recognized the vehicle. A brief high-speed pursuit followed. Michael lost control of the car and crashed into a ditch. Inside, deputies found 2 people. One could be saved, and the other couldn't. Michael had shot himself in the head, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Mianna was already deceased, killed by a gunshot wound. She died in the same car where she likely believed she was safe. She died with the man she loved the most, and she died knowing nothing of paperwork, alerts, or failures. Mianna's mother started a fundraiser titled Help Me Bury My Beautiful Baby Girl. She wrote, and I quote, I am trying to raise money to bury my beautiful 6-year-old baby girl, whom left this world too early by the hands of the father she loved with her whole little life. She posted a photo of that birthday party. In interviews on local Facebook live streams, she hadn't spoken much, but friends and family described her as broken but fighting. No parents prepared to pick out a casket instead of a kindergarten backpack. Michael Roach, he survived. He faced first-degree murder charges along with kidnapping and armed assault. The issue of Amber Alerts has reignited discussion in North Carolina. How can the lack of paperwork override imminent danger, and should verbal reports of abuse and threats be enough? Mianna's case is not the only case that slipped through these cracks, but her name may finally be loud enough to start closing them. Mianna Roach, Mianna Roach, Mianna Roach. I want you to remember her. Not the crime, not the chase, not her father, but her. She liked pink. She had a tiny gap in between her 2 front teeth. She made up dances to songs that she halfway remembered, and she called her mom her best friend. Mianna Roach was full of light, joy, and so much more life to live. Here on Carolina Echoes, we speak for the silenced, for the women and children of North Carolina whose lives were stolen and whose names deserve more than a headline. Mianna, may your tiny spirit rest gently, and may your story echo in every corner until justice and remembrance are no longer optional, but expected. My name is Image, and this has been Carolina Echoes. Thank you for listening, for remembering, and refusing to look away.